Okay, y'all, take 243. I'm not gonna lie, I had to re-record this whole episode. But hey, welcome to Not Your Granny's Typical Dinner Table Convo. I'm going to be your host, B, and that's short for Brittany. Go ahead and pull up a chair, but do me a massive favor. Leave your polite manners and your sugar-coated everything is fine bullshit at the door. Around this table, our table, we do messy, we do raw, we do real with a little bit of a witchy twist. I know y'all heard me ring that bell 3 times and clap my hands at the very beginning. That wasn't just me putting on a mystical show for y'all. Let's talk about the psychology and the science behind that for a second. Sound frequencies literally interrupt your stress loop. It physically forces your brain to step out of fight or flight mode and tells your nervous system to finally chill the hell out. Let me tell you, I needed that energy this weekend because the universe has been throwing signs at me left and right. Story time. Last night, me and Scotty and I were driving home in the pitch dark, and I was thinking about finishing the last half of this podcast for episode 1, this one, before I decided to redo the whole thing. And we were talking about his upcoming surgery. And out of nowhere, this massive owl swooped right down in front of the truck. It just flew so smooth and calm right in our path. In the spiritual world, if y'all don't know, an owl means you have the power to see through the dark and navigate the transition. Then, when I got home to record or to finish recording, a container of black peppercorn literally exploded all over my counter and floor. If you're a kinetic witch like me, kitchen witch or herb witch, you know black pepper is for aggressive banishing. The universe literally threw down a ward in my house to clear my doubt and clear the path. So, here we are. I am finally pulling up a mic and a chair because I've been planning this since last September. And honestly, it is a huge deal for me to just be sitting here letting y'all hear my voice. For a long time, I was the girl who wanted to stay hidden. I wanted to stay sad and quiet because of the things that happened not only to my face, my spirit, and in my life. I let a medical malpractice injury, a literal dent in my face from a broken jaw that wasn't handled right, silence me. I would look in the mirror and just feel broken for years. I didn't think I had a right to be heard. If I wasn't perfect, I felt like my voice didn't matter. But today, I'm claiming my space. My face will come later, but the truth is starting right here, right now, today. I am still here. I am still loud. I still matter, and my voice does too. So, who is sitting at the head of this table, you ask? I am a Cancer, a deep empath, and something I like to call a Griefbearer. And if you're wondering what a Griefbearer is, it is a trauma-informed, somatically grounded healing path for those of us who were never meant to carry it all alone. But beyond that, I am a tarot reader, a psychic medium, and a healer, and so much more. I don't believe in putting myself in a box or under a title. I don't just see the world. I feel the vibrations and the energy of it. I am the walking poster child for every aesthetic out there. And I'm here to help you break your chains, break your stigmas, and break your family curses too. So, what's on the menu today? Everything society tells you to sweep under the rug or carpet, we're talking about it. We're talking about surviving childhood trauma and abuse, bullying, toxic work environments, narcissist family cycles. We're talking about invisible diseases like fibromyalgia, endometriosis, diabetes, and so much more. Let's deep dive into the psychology of how this actually works. When you survive severe trauma, your brain physically changes. Your internal alarm system stays stuck in the on position. Your body starts pumping out stress hormones like you are trying to survive a bear attack, even when you are just sitting on your couch trying to drink a simple cup of coffee. That is what we call cellular memory. Your body keeps the receipts of what your mind tries to forget. That sad girl version of me wasn't just sad. Her nervous system was trapped in a loop. This is exactly why things like fibromyalgia flare up. Your immune system gets completely exhausted from fighting an invisible internal war. So when people look at you and tell you to just get over it, or tell you that it's all in your head, they literally do not know what they are talking about. You cannot just think your way out of trauma. When my jaw was broken, it wasn't just a physical injury, it was a seal that shut my mouth. But spirituality shows us how to weave those broken pieces into magic. I had to stop hiding behind the dent and realize that my physical imperfections was the exact site of my power. We aren't just venting here. We are doing the work to rewire our brains and tell the world, I am still here, I am still loud, and I still matter. So, let's talk about the hard stuff for a second. Now, society likes to throw around the word addict or talk about addiction. I'm only going to use that word this one time, probably. You will hear me refer it to as my dark days, because around this table, I like to just call it my dark days. And that's because it was a total eclipse of my soul. I am talking about experiencing homelessness, binging from trap house to trap house, and spending freezing nights in abandoned houses just to have a roof over my head, not knowing where you're going from place to place. I've been through the system. I've been in and out of jail, and I felt the crushing weight of being a statistic that society had completely written off. But I can tell you I did not stay there. Scotty and I have been together for over 10 years. And we did the impossible. We got clean together. Let's talk about facts for a second. The stats relapse rate for couples trying to get clean together is extremely high. Science would tell you it's almost impossible because the trauma bonds keep pulling you back under. The system expects you to drag each other down and through the mud. But the stats don't know our spirit or our willpower. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary on February 14th this year. Looking back at where we were, sleeping in places that weren't even fit for animals, to where we are now, it is pretty mind-blowing. Scotty is actually in the process right now of building my physical she shed tarot temple, where I will do my readings, craft my magic, and make my medicine. We went from abandoned houses to building a sanctuary. We broke a generational family curse. The fire that truly lit this podcast, the reason I am speaking into this microphone today is because I lost my beautiful little sister, Brandy Michelle Bryant, to suicide on May 6th of 2023. She was only 33 years old, so that made me a sibling loss survivor. I don't really know why they call us that. I just know we are the forgotten mourners, and I fully feel that in my bones. People don't realize that suicide loss is a completely different kind of psychological trauma. It's called complicated grief. It leaves the survivors with a physical shock to the nervous system, rewriting our DNA with unanswered questions. Surviving that kind of loss, on top of the silent, heavy grief of losing babies, losing a child, and anyone in between that we've lost, it changes your cellular makeup, and it also triggered my full spiritual awakening. I fully believe Brandy is my vertical light pillar. I fully believe she is walking beside of me on this path. I fully believe she is the pushing force. She's the reason I'm standing. And on our 10-year anniversary, while out with Scotty, I found a sign from Brandy that I could not ignore. I found a rhinestone heart hair tie, the exact replica of one she and I used to share and swap while she was here on Earth. Right then and there, I knew she was sending me a sign and telling me to stop waiting. She was telling me to hit record and use my voice. Being a griefbearer doesn't mean I carry the pain. It means I carry the love forward. I'm dedicating an upcoming episode entirely to Brandy. But listen to me. I want you sitting at this table with me telling your story too. I want you at this table. You do not have to carry your grief or whatever you're going through alone. I do not want this podcast to just be another voice in the void. I want to help you learn how to navigate the heavy shit you are going through and show you how you can be spiritual too. Still have that magic while you do it. I, myself, am weaving all of this into my brand, the Oracle Sage Threads. This isn't just a business, it is my digital grimoire coming to life. I'm bringing you homemade spiritual seasonings, ritual oils, and the same herb blends I use to protect my own energy. Because, let's be honest, sometimes you just need to aggressively season your life to keep the bad vibes out. If I can't hex the bad energy away, I'm at least going to throw some protective salt at it. And real quick, before we wrap up, let me tell you why this episode isn't an hour and a half long. When I first started listening to podcasts, I discovered pretty fast that sometimes the longer ones are just boring. People ramble and you don't really get any actual medicine from it. I want this to be short, simple, and sweet. I want to get straight to the grit so I can help myself along with all of you heal, learn, and grow. Between the trauma and just trying to survive the day, our attention spans are fried anyway. We've got healing to do and magical shit to make, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time. So, before we close out episode 1, I want to talk about how we're going to handle the heavy lifting on this show. We are going to do real shadow work together. Getting down into the nitty-gritty of why we react the way we do. Pulling the skeletons out of the closet and actually dealing with our trauma. But alongside that deep internal shadow work, you need practical everyday magic to survive the mundane world. So every episode, I'm going to give you a weekly seal breaker, a simple ritual to protect your peace. Since we are talking about surviving the dark days and protecting our energy this week, I am going to leave you with and teach you the full energy sip method. I'm sure some of you may have even seen or heard of this before. If you are an empath or super sensitive person like me, before you leave your house, before you go anywhere with a lot of people and chaotic energy, you have to protect your field. Here is exactly how you do it. Stand up and put your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine you are stepping into a full-body energetic suit of armor. Take your hand, reach all the way down to your feet or your knees. You can start at your feet or your knees. And physically act like you are pulling a heavy zipper all the way up your body and right over the top of your head. Do it for the front of your body to the back. You are like you are enclosing, zip up and zip it up like you are enclosing your entire kinetic field. As you pull that zipper up, you are going to say out loud 3 times, I zip up my energy, I zip up my energy, I zip up my energy. And just because I do everything with a little extra force, you are going to finish it by giving the universe a triple clap to permanently lock that zipper in place. Let them try to drain you after that. Healing isn't a passed out Instagram perfect aesthetic. It's looking at the universe while your life is a dumpster fire and saying, okay, you threw me in the flames, but guess what? I brought the marshmallows. What you survived is not your secret, it's your strength. I myself have risen from the ashes, and you can too. And now I'm handing a bucket of water to the next person walking into a fire. This table is an open table. If there is a certain situation or topic you want me to discuss, or if you want me to cover or deep dive on something specific, let me know. And if you want to be on an episode to talk about something, let me know. If you want to be on Brandy's episode or knew her or want to tell a story about her, let's do it. Please reach out to me. Thank you for pulling up a chair for episode 1. My coffee is officially cold, and my cats are probably getting into something they shouldn't be. The sage is burning low, and I'm ready to ground this power. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss the next meal. Protect your peace, keep your circle tight, and I'll catch you at the next dinner.